Hi, hello, welcome back to Bioenergetics. My name is Devaraj. Today I want to look at a question Chab asked me the other day through the YouTube channel. Can you please do a video on opening throat chakra or some exercises for better speaking? Thank you. Okay, great question. And the first thing I want to say about when you're trying to develop your voice is that it's very important you find your own voice. Because what's constricted at the throat essentially is all the ways you've been conditioned to believe about speaking, about expressing, about showing yourself in the world. So if you come and you say, hey, I want to speak like this guy, or I want to, just have a better voice for presenting myself, there's a lot of coaches and people out there who are going to say, well, you should do it like this, or you should do it like that, or you want to sound like this, give me some money and I'll show you how to try and move your voice so you can get it like this. But I'm not going to show you this stuff because, you see, the core is that this throat is constricted, and what you need to find is your natural voice. It's not about having a voice like someone else. It's about finding your natural voice, and you need to want to find that. The basic therapeutic or self-developmental approach I apply is to take the constraints out. Instead of telling you to be a certain way and how to change your behavior to be a certain way or change your thinking to be a certain way, there's nothing wrong with that in its right context. It's more that you look at the blocks in the system, in the body, wherever, and you start to take them out, because then, the way I see it, then your natural personality starts to just come to the front. So that's an important caveat to put in at the beginning before we look at the throat. You got to be busy with looking for your natural voice, your natural voice, not anybody else's. Okay, and then let's have a look. What do I know about the throat? There is a lot of constraint and constriction around here. Social pressure, parental pressure, people who got bullied, people who felt like it wasn't safe to speak up. And you got to, if you're from that background and you're a bit afraid to really put your voice out, what you need to do is practice a lot. Some exercises you can do, quite more full-on exercises to open the throat, are like gag reflex. Sticking 2 fingers down your throat. Until your throat does this reflex. That's quite full-on in a way. You can also, if you want to be even more full-on, and working with the belly, because the belly and throat are intimately connected, you can drink warm salt water, like 2, 3, 4 litres, and then make yourself vomit it all up. It's also quite a powerful purging system for the throat and the belly. So those are kind of things a little bit from the world of shamanism, a bit that you can do, and also bioenergetics, legitimate bioenergetics. But it's also okay not to go quite that extreme. And I should mention, if you've got a history of eating disorders or anything where you used to make yourself throw up, it's probably not a good strategy to use without some level of professional discussion. But stuff that you certainly can do with your throat is just learn to just open your mouth and put it out, in a sense that, let's see, when exercise is just to, often in bioenergetics, people are doing a walking around exercise of some type. And I say, imagine your throat is opening and just let a sound out on the out breath. So you can do this. You can use your hands just to support you a bit, kind of making a movement away from the throat to symbolize the expression. And you start to simply imagine your throat opening and start to make a sound. Might look a bit like, ah, 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 ah. And it's not so much that you're pushing a sound out, thinking about it. You're just opening your throat in your imagination and allowing something to come out, Don't be, you may have a part of, you might have internalized a heavy internal critic, someone who criticizes your behavior a lot. Try to put them on the side, or not give that voice too much potency and too much control over you. This is a journey. Opening the throat is a journey. It takes time, but you get results along the way. So it's not that you have to do it for years before you get a result. You get results along the way, but it's a journey. So you really, just give your throat voice to express, I can feel points of tension in my neck, which I've had a long time. getting activated, you know, and it's like, it's that sense of internal constraint. This is the voice, this is the throat, you know, we're looking for the natural throat. Other stuff you can do to support you, I did a little thing on jaw exercises a couple of weeks back. You can look out for that. I think it's something like Bioenergetics number 42 or something, you know, but basically moving your jaw around, you know, and making a bit of noise while you do it. Getting that lower jaw nice and flexible. If you can't make a lot of sound, you know, shouting can be good, but when you shout, you want to try and access your belly. So practice with grunting a bit first, or making a kind of low growling sound, you know, kind of. You can feel, you know, I can feel that connecting the jaw and the throat up. You know, you really. There's a big energetic connection between the belly and the throat. So you want to get that connected. Okay, I'm just throwing out a bit of energy and random exercises here. The bottom line is to keep working your voice. Keep making sound and expressing in social situations where you catch yourself, you know, practice inner vigilance and see when you're holding yourself back and look for a way you can step up, take a risk, come out of your comfort zone and say something. Talk about stuff you're scared normally of talking about, you know. Come out of the comfort zone and start to really show yourself. Take a risk. All of this supports you to open your voice and your throat, and over time, your natural voice will start to emerge. You know, and that's you. That's your own individual you. That's precious and valuable. You might not value it now in the moment, but try. You know, you are valuable. What you have to say is important, and you have to practice. You have to take responsibility to put it out. And then you can really, you know, it's no good knowing everything inside if you can't put it out. So that's basically the voice. Something else, a guy I know who's a big shaman guy. I'm not so much into it, but you can also get, you know, like a cushion and scream into it a bit like, oh, fuck, fuck. You know, really have a bit of fun screaming, fuck, or something like that, you know, letting some of that energy out. If you find your voice, you're losing your voice a lot, you know, which is common when you really work full on with the throat, try to resonate more in the belly, you know, try to make the sound from the belly and don't focus so much on the high-pitched screaming kind of thing. Try to really get a bit of sound going in the guts. It takes time, like I say. It all comes down to, are you willing to keep going with it? Even when you feel a bit negative, even when you feel like it's not working, are you willing to keep going? Because that is a decisive factor that will determine whether you move forwards or not. Okay, that's enough from me, over and out, and hope to see you again soon here on YouTube. Bye for now.